I come to offer report of such unbelievable things that I have witnessed. A story of those ladies who have left their homes and gone to the mountain, their white and naked limbs flashing in the moonlight.
Pesmo! Felolaxero, every detail. Their punishment shall be sharp for the disgrace they bring upon our land.
We had just arrived upon the upper ridge when we saw 3 bands of sleeping women. Hatanoe, Ino, and your mother, Agavi, were the leaders. They were sleeping peacefully, not at all out of order as we had been led to suspect. Suddenly, from nowhere, a black bull appeared and awoke them with his cries. Like a vision of grace and loveliness, they yawned and stretched and arose as if under some sweet spell. They caressed the animals that had been lying with them, deer and wolves and serpents, as if they were their children. Agavi struck the earth with her staff and water burst forth. Then again she struck the ground, and the blood-red wine of this new god came flowing in rivers across the rocks. Others clawed the ground with their hands, and white milk and thick honey bubbled up. If you had seen it, great king, you would have known it for the miracle it was and fallen to your knees in prayer. Some of us shepherds did just that. But one among us began to talk freely and foolishly. He said that we might be offered some sort of reward if we were to capture your mother and bring her to you. I wish he had never said this. Although, as with most bad ideas, it seemed quite reasonable at the time. So we hid ourselves among the pine trees in order to put our stupid plan into action. As we sat concealed, a cry went out from somewhere and the dance began. They began to dance. There was music without musicians. The mountain was alive with some sort of powerful magic, a madness. Even the animals seemed more alive, more aware. Agavi, your mother, ran past me and I jumped up to capture her. She shouted to the other women and they rushed at me. I barely escaped alive. And then the horror began. Our sheep and cattle were attacked by the unarmed women. The innocent animals were torn to pieces, as were some of my companions. I hurried down the mountain. I wanted to get away from there. The women followed, destroying everything in their path. They descended on the village at the foot of the mountain. Men tried to defend their homes. Spears could not pierce the skin of the women as they pulled the bleeding hearts from the bodies of their assailants. Everyone and everything that had been there is no more. And then, after this great destruction, they returned to the mountain. Great king, you must do everything to welcome this god into our city. He will bring us many gifts or great destruction. The power of the god is great. We must honor him or suffer the consequences. I have returned to weep for this house and for this city.
Why? What news do you bring?
News of the death of a king. Pentheus is dead. O Pentheas of Vasiliastis Thebas en nekros.
Αυτά είναι υπέροχα νέα.
Ο Διόνυσος, ο θεός μας.
Όλη η δόξα σε αυτόν.
Why are you all so happy? Pos Maria Thanatos to Vasiliamas Bernia Theia. What kind of creatures are you?
We are foreign to your land.
We are followers of the great god Dionysos.
Then this is all some sort of invasion of our city? Xenias Politistin Polymas? Our borders have been broken. We must defend our land.
Don't be foolish.
Our king is not of this earth.
We care nothing for the scrap of land.
Tell us, how did your king meet his end? How did Pentheus die?
Pentheus arrived with the stranger at the place of the Minatis. They approached silently. Pentheus could not see their strange ceremonies from his hiding place. The stranger then did something that was quite unnatural. The stranger performed some sort of magic. He willed a tree to bow down before him, and the tree obeyed. The stranger then told Pentheus to climb to the very top of this obedient tree. Gently then, the tree began to rise with our king Pentheus at its tip. From his position high above, our king could clearly see the women. To apocalyptica nola. And then the stranger disappeared. The strange magician suddenly vanished.
And then, what happened?
The sky split open, and fire, not lightning, but fire, shot from the clouds and struck the ground. A voice said, "Behold, look up. The blasphemer is now among you. He has come to mock your ceremonies." And then the women saw him. They shrieked. A horrible noise. I feared for my life, but could not turn away. I had to watch. And what I saw next, I cannot bear to tell you.
Tell it.
Πες τα μας όλα.
Everything!
The tree came down in splinters. Our king Pentheus fell. And then...
Taste!
And then the women, led by our king's own mother, tore him apart. A carnage, a horror. They tore him apart with their bare hands. Pentheus was screaming, "Please, mother, do not kill your son. Can't you see who I am? Why are you doing this, mother? Yati." But there was no answer. And now the son is silent. His body lies in pieces, the mountain stained with his blood. His mother, Agave, in a mad rage returns. She holds his severed head and thinks it is a trophy. She and the other women imagine that they have killed some beast. Their insanity makes them think that they have only killed a lion. I wish it was I who was mad, and that this terrible murder were not true. I can no longer stay. I've seen too much. I am in danger.